Okay, we back? I hope we're back. I want to be back. Shoot. We back? I have no idea what happened there. Why it took a yes? Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, sorry about that. That was I don't know, my computer on my end just completely said, "Nah, internet's no longer working for you." And I had Comcrap, kind of not be working for like 4 or 5 hours yesterday while they're fixing stuff. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, is this what's going on today? Is why Comcrap is being crappy? I mean, I don't know. But then I decided to reset my computer, and then it's like, okay, now it works again. I'm like, okay, sure, it works again, yay! And then here we are, we're back. So I don't know. I'm not sure why that happened the way it did, but I guess we'll just have to go with it. I have to redo all this stuff again. But it is what it is because reasons. My computer, it loves me so much. It loves me so very much. All right, let me get to the e-text here, and we'll work on this problem here. I was gonna give you a couple minutes. Apparently, I'm giving myself a couple minutes. Oh my gosh, jeez. All right, I don't understand anything anymore. Please help a brother out. Um, where are we here? 450. Sure. All right, let's go back to number 17. Sorry about that, everybody. My bad on that. I know some of you like, oh, my computer hasn't done that in a while, so yeah, that was kind of weird, but sure, I guess we'll roll with it. In any case, let's work with number 17 here. Talk about credit scores. All right, let's just go down the line here, and let's just work with this together here. Do that interruption. I think that's okay. Paint tool once again. All right. Okay, so let's go over it step by step here. All right. And let's see exactly what we're working with here. All right. So let's go over step one here. By the way, credit score is probably the most. I was gonna say right before stream got cut off for whatever reason. Yeah, the credit score is probably one of the most important things that you should probably get to know. So definitely know what your credit score is, and definitely know how to maintain it. Very important for later on in life if you want to get a new car, a new house, or something like that. Um, okay. So step one here is we need a null hypothesis here. So can anybody tell me here what would be the null hypothesis according to the problem that we have here? What's the null hypothesis here? What's our null hypothesis equal to here according to the problem? Um, 700? Is it 700? Well, here's what I will say. The answer in this case the answer here is not 700. So that's a good try. Is it 703 and a half? Well, if you take a look here very carefully, the answer indeed is 703 and a half. So an average score over 700 is to be considered quality, but it says the mean FICO score is 703 and a half. So again, we got to read these problems carefully. Remember, One thing about a word problem is not every number is necessarily going to necessarily fit in that problem. 700 is one of those red herring ones there. They're just kind of thrown in just for a little bit of added extra bit of information. But in reality, it doesn't have any relevance to what we wanted to be doing here in this problem. Yet actuality here is 703 and a half. Actually, the number we want to look at here specifically. All right, so be a little bit careful about that here, so that way you're not caught unawares. All right. What is the alternate hypothesis? What is the alternate hypothesis? What is H1? What is the alternate hypothesis here? Yeah, we're back. I had to reset my computer in the whole 9 yards, so for whatever reason it kind of shut down on me, Fainer. Like I said, that's not your fault. It was just like it just totally pooped. Bigger than 703 and a half. Okay, that's correct. Okay, good. Right? So this is definitely bigger than 703 and a half. Again, the big key takeaway here is that is this a higher FICO scores at the level singular? So higher here would mean bigger than 703 and a half. So that is correct. Okay. What type of test do we have here in this case? What type of test? Right tail test. Okay, that is correct. All right. Bueno. All right. So bigger than here, clear indication of a right tail test. All right. So far, so good. Step 3 is just to state the level of significance here. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. All right. So here we're given a 0.05 level of significance. That's fine. All right. Now for step 4 here, we're going to go ahead and write down our relevant information here. All right, so let's go down the line here for just a moment. So first of all, we know what's our X bar here? What's our sample mean here? What does our sample mean? Okay, 714.2. That is correct. Okay, very good. I'm gonna write that in here. 714.2. Perfect. Very nice. We have our population mean here, which we already stated is 703 and a half, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse about that. All right, we also want the standard deviation. What's our standard deviation or sample standard deviation? What's that going to be? $83.2. Okay, good. That is correct. Okay, so that's our sample standard deviation. And what is our sample size? What's our sample size here in this case? 40. Okay, that's right. Nice. All right, perfect. Okay, so we got all that ready to go. All right, let's go ahead and plug in this stuff here into our formula. All right, so the test stat here is going to be, again, our X bar here, or 714.2, minus our population mean, so 703 and a half, divided by our standard deviation of 83.2, divided by the square root of the sample size, which is 40. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to the next step here. Let's do it on the calculator here to find our p-value and the value of our test stat here at the same time. All right, so let's take out the calculator here once again. Where is it? There it is. Bring this out here. All right. So what we're going to do here once again is we're going to hit the stat key here. We're going to go over to tests. We're going to go to number 2, which is a t-test. Hit enter. We're going to go over to stats. And let's enter in all the stats that we need here for this problem. So again, our U0 here, which is our U, this is our population mean, so 703.5. Sample mean, 714.2. Standard deviation here, 83.2. And a sample size here of 40. With this being a right tail test, so we'll cover this last part here. We have a right tail test for this, yes, okay. Hit enter on that. Down to calculate. Okay, so let's see what we got here for our test stat and our p-value. So we have our test stat here is 0.8134 with the p-value here of 0.2105. All right, finally, go ahead and make our conclusion here. Go ahead and admit that out, see what we get. All right, so, oh, Kristen's already on top of this. All right. You guys are already like 2 steps ahead of me, I'm sure. Is 0.2105 less than 0.05? Well, I think all of you have properly concluded here. The answer is definitely no. So I agree with all of you here. Accept the null and reject the alternate. Good. Okay, good stuff. All right, nice work. Are there any questions about hypothesis testing with the population mean there? Any questions at all about that? Check on my homework here for a second. Okay, cool. No? Large no's today. Everybody. All right, do understand that there is a homework assignment here for 10.4. As I mentioned here before, 10.4 is just a recap section of sections 10.1 to 10.3, mainly off of 10.2 and 10.3. So there's a few added extra practice problems for you to do that'll be worth some points in section 10.4. So we're not going to go over section 10.4 here, as it is just, again, once again, a recap section of everything else in chapter 10. So in effect, at this point here, we are done with chapter 10, all right? So this is the end of section 10.3 and 10.4 effectively, all right? So that will take care of both of those sections. Those 2 sections there will be done and dusted. All right. So what that means is that, of course, for next time, we're going to be starting off here with the last chapter of the textbook here. Yes, we have already made it to the very last chapter of the textbook. We are flying through at a very nice pace here. So the last chapter of the textbook here is chapter 4. Okay, so chapter 4 here is the last chapter of the textbook. Once we are finished up with chapter 4 here, ladies and gentlemen, we then are going to talk about the test, and then for the last 4 chapters here, which is chapters 8, 9, 10, and 4. And then we will also talk about the final exam here as well, which will be a comprehensive final. So we are going to be having a lot to do here once we are finished up with chapter 4, and a lot to talk about here regarding due dates and all that stuff here. So within the next week or so, within the next couple weeks, I guess I should say, we're going to be talking a lot about that here and getting stuff done. Gotta love finals, indeed. You gotta love finals. So I know finals are definitely a thing. So you feel like this semester flew by so fast? Yeah, this semester has flown by actually rather quickly. But I think I would like to say, Cheska, I think that's because we have had a lot of fun. For the people who come to these classes here, day in and day out, every Monday and Wednesday here, I feel like we have a lot of fun and time just flies by really quickly when we do these classes. So it never feels like we go a full hour. It never feels like an hour and 15 minutes. We just it just feels like 2 minutes have passed and we're already finished with a lot of stuff. So and a lot of that credit is due to you, because you guys make this class super fun and super enjoyable, super exciting. So I mean, I'm not gonna complain. If these days are gonna feel like this, I will never complain. 100%. I don't usually complain about teaching anyway, so outside of the regular stuff, but um, but I don't complain about you guys. You guys are great. So you guys are the MVPs of this class, 100%. That's why I have a lot of fun times. Like I never get bored. Never get bored. All right. Let's go ahead and okay. All right. So, let's move on here to all right. Okay. Thank you very much here, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on out here to the stream once again. I'm going to be here for the 12:30 class here, but I'm going to take a small break here in between classes. I'll be back on in 5 minutes or so. But thank you again very much here for those of you who come out here to this first stream. Sorry about the interruption here in the middle. I really do apologize about that. Don't know what happened with my internet there, but hopefully it'll work normally from here on out. So thank you very much, everybody. You guys are wonderful people. I love you all. All right, have yourself a wonderful weekend. All right. Now you have to pretend to crash in your next class to be. That's true. Everything's got to be fair down the middle, That's true. That's true. All right. All right. And as always, thank you. You have a good weekend too, Megan. As always, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay sane. All right. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, everybody. I hope to see you guys on Monday. If I don't see you, again, you guys know where to find me. Just feel free to email me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so for the second class. All right. Alright, we're back. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Alright, we are back. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, let's see if we can get things to work more appropriately. At least I hope so. Question mark. See, we got that. Good. Perfect. Okay. Alright, let's take a step away here for just another second. Be back. Hello, hello, hello! Alright. We're back here about 4 minutes away from class, so hopefully we will be ready to go here. Hopefully everybody who has joined us is doing very well. All right, but we'll get going here in about 4 minutes or so. We'll just hopefully get things going. Won't be too bad. Hopefully we won't get another interruption in internet this time. JD. Yeah, the internet, I don't know what happened, JD. I don't know. It just like suddenly just went, it's just like what just happened? Like it just cut me off. I had to reset and restart everything. I was like, man, I didn't do anything. I have a feeling, JD, it's com crap. Com crap at its finest. So, it just kind of went blip, and I was like, well, yeah, que no bueno indeed. But hopefully it's gonna last the whole time here today. Even if it didn't last the whole time for the first class, hopefully it is just a blip in the radar. Hopefully nothing that's too concerning. So hopefully hopefully one of those things that just happens. It's internet. I that's basically how I've just kind of rolled with it. What's this chat identity? Chat identity? Are you talking about on Discord there, JD? Or I don't know. Oh? It's on the stream? Chat identity on the stream? Let me check my stream. Chat identity. I don't see that on my stream. Chat identity? On the chat itself? That's pretty odd. I don't see it on my side. I didn't turn anything on. Maybe, is that like a pronoun thing that I'm supposed to know about? I mean, I don't know. Is that what it's supposed to refer to? Like some people use pronouns like, or whatever. So it's not on my chat anyway. It says chat appearance. But I don't think that's it. Maybe that's a thing. I wish I was better at things. That's kind of weird. In any case, JD, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. Sent a picture of it on Discord. Okay, let me check out on Discord here. Oh, that thing. Oh, that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's so that there is the icon. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. That's the icon that will be that will show up on your chat. Like if you're a VIP, then you'll have like a VIP icon next to your name. Or something to that effect. All right. So I think that's just an icon. Like mine would be like I have to say hello, and then as you can see, I have the broadcaster one next to mine because I'm actually doing the stream or something. So you get what I'm saying, though. Ashley, how you doing today? Ashley, how you doing? Are you doing good there today, Ashley? I hope so. How we doing today, Ashley? I hope you're having a good afternoon here today, Ashley. Hopefully, a very wonderful afternoon. You had to take your dog to the vet. Is your dog okay? I hope your dog's not sick or anything. That would suck. I don't wish that on anyone. That's dogs are pets are family, so definitely important to take the dog to the vet if he's not feeling too. Oh no. Oh, poor baby. Oh. She just needed shots. Okay. She was probably like nervous or anxious. Your dog anyway was nervous or anxious. So hopefully she'll be feeling less anxious and less nervous. Hopefully now that she's back. And no pet likes going to the vet. They know. I think the pets, they have the instinct. They're like, yeah, I know what's going on, and they're like, I don't like you for it. I ain't going to the doctor, man. Hey, a really quick. I gotta. Hang on, Ashley. Let me see here. All right. I sent you a whisper there, Ashley, just in case I wasn't sure about that part there. Let me know about that. Uh, at least you didn't have to clean it. Oh yeah, cleaning up pee is never fun. I've had to do that a couple times. I was dog sitting for a friend of mine. That defense. I told her I'm getting my vaccination next Friday, so just a second. Man, telling the dog, I'm getting my vaccination. You better get yours. Yeah. Got to get those vaccinations done. Super important. Super important. 100% super. All right. Let's eh, oh, okay. Wait, what? Okay. Sure. Why not? It's a thing. All right, there we go. I got my bees. Yay! There you go. Drink of the day. Drink of the day is going to be some milk tea. Some milk tea today. Ladies and gentlemen, milk tea. That is the way to be. Very nice. Got the bees. Very good. I'm happy to hear all of this. All of this is really good to hear. Let me be perfectly honest here. So, I don't know why it's doing that. What? Yeah, just go ahead. You can post that picture in the Discord there. Planet. If you want to put it in the Discord, please, by all means. Discord there is just for you guys. So, um, You guys can post to whatever you want. There we go. Post them bees. Bees! Oh my god, it's the bees! Oh, okay. I had to do it. It's kind of important. They bees. It's the bees! Oh my god, it's the bees. Milk tea does sound good. Milk tea is good. It's pretty legit. I ain't gonna lie. Milk tea is very legit. 100%. Alright. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get started here with the newest material. So let's get going here and let's do this. Good Wednesday. Good Wednesday to you. Good Wednesday to you, Madison. Thank you. Thank you very much. Get to highlight a message. Yeah, there you go. I like that, Madison. Very nice. Very nice. You gotta highlight a message for 100 of percentage points. Yes. The currency. The currency of our class. Percentage points. Oh, wow. That looks adorable. Oh. You got it next to a Pachimaru kind of looking thing there. So like a duck looking Pachimaru. Atsumu, that's an interesting name. Nice. Saving up for that 10K, respect. Absolutely. Keep saving. I think you'll go far. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. All right, time for some intros. Time to do some work. Yeah. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to Wednesday, end of the week time today. So today, ladies and gentlemen, today, ladies, today, unless there's a gentleman in the chat, ladies, uh, we are going to be doing the last part here of Chapter 10. Okay, so Chapter 10, be finishing off Chapter 10 here today, chapter sections 10.3 and 10.4. Now, Section 10.4 here will be a recap section over the first three sections of Chapter 10, so it's basically the same type of questions there. I put an assignment here for Section 10.4 on my math lab to put a little bit few extra practice questions that'll be worth points. All right, so that's up there and ready to go. But today we're going to be focusing primarily, pretty much everything on Section 10.3, which is the last of the hypothesis testing here. And it's going to feel fairly similar to what we talked about here on Monday. So a lot of the same things that we talked about on Monday are pretty much the same things that we're going to be talking about here today. So that's basically what we're going to be going over here today, is essentially doing another type of hypothesis testing, just from a different perspective. All right, so let's go ahead and start with that here today. Hopefully nothing goes crazy like it did the first class with that going. So let's go to the big board here. Let's give it a go. All right. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at question number 1 here on the handout, and let's work our way down. We're going to just do a couple questions here, so it shouldn't be all that bad. All right, so question 1 here says, what assumptions must we make to do a hypothesis test of a population mean when the population standard deviation is unknown? So here we're going to make the assumption that the population standard deviation is unknown, and we're going to be doing hypothesis testing in and around that through the guise of a population mean. In any case, what is that? How do we make these tests? How can we make that happen? All right. So the first, these three things that you see here is things that we saw here in the last section as well, but we'll go ahead and state it once again. Letter A is simple random sample, so it has to be completely random, or again, randomized experiment. And again, every person in the sample, if you ask a question, has to be random in nature about how you choose. Letter B, probably the difference here between this and the last section, is the sample has no outliers. The population from the sample is drawn from a normally distribution, or n is bigger than or equal to 30. This just ensures we have a big enough sample size, like n is bigger than or equal to 30, or if we have a small enough sample size, then that sample size has no outliers, or it's drawn from it's normally distributed. It's drawn from a normal distribution. All right. And then finally, the sample values are independent of each other. This takes away the bias in the sample for answering the question. Okay, so we want a independent sample, nobody influencing each other in terms of their answers at the end of the day. Okay, so that's what we have there here in this instance. All right. Now, let's take a good look here at question number 2. Okay, so this is going to be the meat and potatoes of everything we're going to be doing here today. So let's talk about this here and let's see exactly what we're. All right, so number 2. How do we perform a hypothesis test using the p-value method when the population standard deviation is unknown? All right, so we're going to be doing the same 3 steps that we talked about here last time. All right, we're going to determine the null and alternate hypotheses. All right, so that's step number 1. And in this case here, for the null and alternate hypotheses, we're going to be revolving around the idea of the population mean. So whatever problem that we're going to be given here, we're going to be given a particular population mean, and that's our comparison. That's our base case. So remember, that's a null hypothesis here is our base case. What are we comparing it with? So we say, okay, this is our population mean here. So this mu here is, again, just notation here for population mean. All right, so whatever that number is, it'll be given to us here in the problem. Do I want to become famous? No, but what I do know is that you want to become banned, and that sounds like a absolute fantastic idea. All right, so damn bots. Always bots, and they always need to go away. All right. In any case. All right. What's our alternate hypothesis? Our alternate hypothesis here is going to be the same hypotheses again, which is going to be, again, less than, bigger than, or not equal to, which reflects a left, right, or two-tail type of test. Step 2, we're going to go ahead and determine the type of test here. Again, we're going to make that as a separate step, as we'll use that later on. And of course, the level of significance, that's something that you do not need to find. That'll be just given in the problem there outright. Okay, so nothing too fancy going on here. There you go. It is what it is. Now, let's take a look at a problem here, and we're going to work on this here together. Okay, so we can see exactly how things will work out. All right, so the problem that we'll look at here, we'll do the first 3 steps, and then we'll do the last 3 steps here as well. So, see here. Put this here. Oh, hang on a sec. It's half. That half. All right, there we go. I can make. Then I can make the other thing a half, so it doesn't have this. All right. Okay, so let's do number 13 here. So we're going to do number 13 from the book, and we're going to do just one part of number 13 here. So we'll read this off here together. Do I like outer space? Yeah, I do actually. I totally dig outer space, JD. 100%. One of the things that you have to understand about outer space is if you're talking about outer space, um, how would I put this? Like the Earth is just one finite ball of space in a vast quantity of space where other life forms and other civilizations exist, you know. And I would like to think that one of my sincerest wishes that humanity goes away from just figuring out how to, be in constant conflict with each other on a finite bubble of planet Earth and hopefully be able to expand themselves out to other portions of outer space and the galaxy as a whole. I know that seems rather strange, but when you sit and think about it, it feels like at the end of the day that all the things that happen currently is just minute in comparison because, everybody battles it out for space and land and resources. I said, you got a ton of resources out there. I mean, there's literally a planet that they probably have discovered that's made of diamonds. It's like, well, yeah, you could probably find a planet that's full of diamonds that would make diamonds worthless. Sure, that could happen. I mean, technically, diamonds aren't technically a rare resource here on planet Earth either, but you know what I mean. So, diamonds are only expensive because there's a literal monopoly on the resource itself by one company. Otherwise, diamonds by itself are not a rare resource here, um, which is rather interesting. That's the only reason why diamonds are so expensive. It's strictly because of it being owned by one company. They don't have any other meaning outside of that. That's I will say this, Planet, to be fair, mathematically, it's almost you have a better chance of winning like the lottery that we talked about here back in chapter 5 when we talked about combinations. There's a better chance of winning that Powerball than there is there not being any aliens out there. I mean, that's dead serious. When you're talking about that many planets and you're saying, "Oh, well, there's nothing in those many, trillions upon trillions, 1 trillion planets." I'm like, you got to be joking. Like, really? You think that there's no life on any of those planets? Like, yeah, yeah, get out of here. And the odds say otherwise. To some, I bet if you're looking at it from a different perspective there, JD, the answer is yeah, we would be. Aren't we a different life form compared to another one on another planet? We, in fact, would be aliens to them. It'd be the same thing. The only difference is that how they would view us. It's like, okay, well, are we primitive compared to their technology? How do they view our behaviors compared to their own? It's like, again, just one culture just meeting another culture. Yeah, you look different, sure, but essentially it's just like two different cultures, two different ways of life, two different sets of technology, two different paths to it's to two different paths. It's just how it is. Modern technology's only been around for a few thousand years, so modern technology in the eyes of humans have been around a few thousand years, but maybe for the aliens, could have been around, millions of years. You don't know. Again, anything is possible. So, but I would say if the aliens were to visit the Earth, then clearly they have technology that's way surpasses our own. And, maybe they've evolved, much further than humanity has. You don't know. My brain hurts now. I would have to say if we've made a culture exchange by this point, I think that, you know, you would figure out either why you would want to remain secret or not. There's probably lots of reasons. So I'm not going to speculate. All right, let's read off number 13 here together. Cause we annoying. I think I don't know. It depends depends what they would think of us. It's just different. We're different, but it depends on perspective and what they think. So who knows? I can't view their perspective, so I'm not gonna speculate to tell you this is what they think of us and this is not what they think of us. I'm like, I've never met one, so I have no idea. I mean, do they see us as the threat? I don't know. Does it really matter? Probably not to me. I'd be like, all right, it's a thing. All right, they're there. Hey. Preferably, I wish we had the science to kind of step on equal footing, so you can exchange knowledge and information. Like that'd be pretty cool. So, 100%. All right. So let's read off number 13 here. I'm eventually getting number 13. Um, all right, so ready for college. So the ACT is a college entrance exam. The ACT has determined that a score of 22 on the math portion of the ACT suggests that the student is ready for college level mathematics. To achieve this goal, ACT recommends that the students take a core curriculum of Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. Suppose a random sample of 200 students who completed the core set of courses results in a mean ACT math score of 22.6 and a standard deviation of 3.9. Do these results suggest that the students who complete the core curriculum are ready for college level math? That is, are they scoring above a 22 on the math portion of the ACT? Okay. Yep, same here. In fact, a 22 is what I got the first time. So, 100%. All right, so let's take a good look here at the null hypothesis. So can anybody tell me here, what is the null hypothesis here? Remember, let's go back to our steps here. Again, that's going to be our population mean. So taking a look at the problem here, what is the population mean according to the problem here in number 13? What is the population mean? So what is H0? So what does that population mean here in this case? 22. Okay. 22, Planet, you agree with that? 22? See what everybody else says. Planet, Madison. Everybody else? Does everybody agree with 22? Go ahead and put a little poll here. Why not? All right, so let's start a little poll here. See what you guys think. Put a poll up top. Let's see what you guys think. You guys can click on the one that you think is the correct answer. Poll is on top of the chat, by the way. Okay, that works. All right, anybody else want to click on it? All right, so we got a couple people there. Good, good. Go ahead and click on what you think that the answer is going to be. We got 3 people there. All right, very good, very good. 4 people think it's 22. Good. All right, so the answer here, let's everybody said 22. All right, so the answer here is indeed 22. Very good. All right, so that indeed is our population mean according to our question. Good. Wonderful. All right. Now that we have that squared away, let's go ahead and take a look here at the alternate hypothesis. What is the alternate hypothesis here in this problem? Is it less than, is it bigger than, or is it not equal to? Remember from what we talked about here last time, we're going to have the same number here of 22. Okay, so this isn't going to change. Be sure that that doesn't change when you're talking about putting in the alternate hypothesis. But what's that going to be? Is that going to be bigger than 22, less than 22, or not equal to 22? Okay, so Planet says more than. Okay. Greater than, okay. Say greater than. Now, I'm going to agree with that. And really quick here, what was the tip off for you to say that it was going to be more than or greater than? What was the word there, the key word that kind of told you it was going to be more than or greater than here in this problem? Was that yeah, so what was the tip off here for you ladies? What was that going to be? Last question reads scoring above a 22. Okay, that's correct. Okay, very good plan. That's right. All right, so that's definitely right. So it said essentially at the end of the day, if we look at the end of the problem, it says, are they scoring above a 22 on the math portion of the ACT? So the keyword there being above says that's going to be greater than at the end of the day. All right, very nice. That's correct. Okay, good. Okay, so that's step one. Let's go. Oops. Color there. Let's go to step two. Step two, what type of test do we have? Do we have a left tail, right tail, or two tail test? What type of test do we have here? All right, that's correct. So here we have a right tail test. All right, good beans. All right, absolutely true. Finally, here's step three, really quick here, is we are going to go ahead and do letter C here. We're going to use the classical or p-value approach at the 0.05 level of significance to do this hypothesis test. So here we're just given the level of significance that we need to test over, which is going to be 0.05. Okay, so that's fine. Those are the first three steps here as part of this process to do this type of hypothesis testing. All right, next. The next three steps here, which is steps 4, 5, and 6, will also look pretty much the same steps that we did here for section 10.2. Now, the only difference is, of course, is the formula for like step 4, which is computing the test statistic, and of course the calculator function that we'll also use here to find our particular p-value. But let's talk about the test statistic here. Remember that we did find the test statistic and the p-value at the same time by doing the test on the calculator, which we are going to go ahead and do here again. All right, but first of all, let's discuss the test statistic here and at least make sure that you have this in your notes. All right, so the test stat here is going to be, again, equivalent to the sample mean minus the population mean divided by the sample standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size. All right, so this is the formula that you see here for finding out what the test stat is going to be. So as you can tell here in this formula, you're going to need 4 pieces of information to go ahead and start filling in the blanks here to put the test stat together. Okay, so let's go ahead and at least write those out here based on the problem that we have here. So first we have the sample mean. So according to the problem here, the sample mean, according to the problem here, if we read this out, is going to be equivalent to, let's go here for a second, 22.6. We did the sample of students and they got a sample mean of 22.6. Next was the population mean here, which was 22 from the first part, so that part's not hard. Then the sample standard deviation, which as you see here is 3.9. And then finally, the sample size here, which is given to us as 200 students here at the end of the day. All right. So we have those listed down. And again, what is going to be important here, just to let you ladies know, that you will need to have this information down. All right, be sure to write this information down because you will need this as part of the calculator part. So be sure to write that down so you have it somewhere where you can use it as a nice little reference. Also important if you need to do stuff for the homework, so you know where to plug in these numbers here appropriately. All right, so if we were to use the formula here, all right, let's go ahead and use the formula. All right, so the test stat here is going to be 22.6 minus 22 divided by 3.9, divided by the square root of 200. Again, just like last time, we're not going to go ahead and plug this into the calculator. We're going to have the calculator find this out for us in our stead when we find the p-value that also is associated with this test stat. Okay, which we're going to do right now. Need a little more space. Okay. All right. Step 5 is the p-value. So let's find the p-value here. Now the p-value here specifically is going to be, we're going to use the calculator here. We're going to use what's called the t-test here on the calculator in order to determine the p-value. All right, so if you have your calculator, make sure you take that out and open it right up here because we're going to go ahead and put this together here and find this p-value and this test stat here simultaneously. All right. So first things first here, let's go to the calculator. So what I would like you to do first here is go ahead and hit the stat key on your calculator. So hit the stat key on your calculator, and we're going to go over to tests. Now, specifically here in this case, we're going to go to number 2, which says t-test. So number 2, which says t-test, is going to be our guy here. So let's go to t-test here. There we go. Just like so. All right. And we're going to go over, and again, if you have data highlighted, go over to stats and hit enter on stats. Okay, so make sure that you hit enter on stats. That's where we want to be here for this testing here. All right, now we're going to enter in the numbers here appropriately based on what we see, based on what we have here from our information given to us in the problem. The first number we're going to put in here is going to be our population mean. Okay, that's what this U0 represents. So we're going to go ahead and put 22 here as our population mean, since that's given to us here from the beginning of the problem. Next is going to be the sample mean. The sample mean here was 22.6, so we're going to go ahead and put that down. Next is going to be the sample standard deviation. That's the SX here. That's going to be 3.9. And then finally here we have the sample size here, which is going to be 200 for N. We have those first 4 numbers there put in perfectly fine. Now, what we want to do here next is identify the type of test. So in this case here, we wrote down in step number 2, this is just what we did here last time, is we have to identify the type of test here, which was a right tail test, as you ladies correctly stated. So again, it goes in the same order that it was before. Again, two tail, left tail, and right tail here respectively. So two tail, left tail, right tail. And since it's a right tail test, we'll go ahead and highlight that last one right there. And we'll go ahead and hit enter just like so. And then we'll just go down to calculate and let it do its thing. Okay, so this is what we get here through this t-test. Okay, now before we move forward here, I want you ladies go ahead and type out done in the chat if these are the exact same numbers that you got on your calculator. So type done in the chat if you got these exact same numbers in the calculator. Is anybody else having problems with the calculator? Done? Okay, Madison's got it, JD's got it. I just want to be sure everybody's on the same page, so please type out done if you got the same numbers on my same numbers as I did on the calculator. All right, hopefully Planet got it. Unless Planet's having issues. In which case, just ask. All right, so I'm going to assume that there are no more problems here, so I'm going to move forward then. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward then. Okay. Okay, so next, let's go ahead and put down our test stat here. So our test stat here is going to be that very first value that we see there, which is 2.1757. So that's our test stat here that we found here first. And the second number here is going to be our p-value, which is 0.0154.